Hello, my name is Nancy Garcia. I am with Ally Mortgage Group. I've been a loan officer for the past 7 years. I've been in the mortgage industry, oh my God, forever. But I've been in the mortgage industry for a long time, back in 2008 when the market crashed. And so I negotiated short sales, foreclosures. So then I decided to get my license 7 years ago. I'm very happy that I made that decision just because I was able to help a lot of families and still do to this day, right?
Nancy is great at what she does, and she speaks Spanish, so
I
she
do.
helps all our Spanish speakers out. With that being said, what family really, with no name said,
Right,
but like
of
what
course.
experience through a loan process has been the best for you?
Oh my God. I'm very passionate about helping my community for sure. And I have so many good memories with different families. I met an open house, a DACA recipient, brother and sister, and they wanted to buy a property for mom and dad and all live together in the home. And at the time, unfortunately, DACA was new. So Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, Ginnie Mae weren't accepting DACA recipients. And unfortunately, couldn't do anything at the time. And I mean, that was so many years ago. I coach them and say, just wait a little bit. And they ended up buying a really nice property in San Leandro. It makes such a huge difference when your community, their struggle, right?
Yeah.
DACA recipients for a very long time have had the struggle to just live a normal life. Now it's like the opposite. Now we can do FHAs for DACA recipients. We can do conventionals. They can now even apply for down payment assistance, right? And I feel like not a lot of people in the business are talking about it. And I work with with a lot of immigrants. I work with a lot of U visa recipients.
Yeah.
And the U visa is basically a work permit that someone that was a victim of a crime gets.
Oh, okay.
And it's a path to citizenship. They can qualify for FHA, they can qualify for conventional loans, they can qualify for down payment assistance, and have helped a lot of people under U visas. And they go to different banks. I don't want to name anybody or any institution, but they always tell me they weren't able to help me at this and that bank. And I'm like, we'll do the work, we'll coach a client, even if they have credit challenges.
Each situation is different,
Right.
and there's usually a way where you can help them. So for, let's say, someone who's coming in with an I-10, what is usually required from them to bring to the table before officially digging into the loan process?
That's a great question. It's a program that we do have available now. We have different investors that are willing to finance borrowers that have I-10, and down payment, unfortunately, is a little higher than your typical FHA conventional loan, but it's very doable. We can finance a home under an I-10 borrower, and we basically verify their income. So if they're a W-2 employee, we'll just get a verification of employment, bank statements. We do have to have a letter from their IRS showing their I-10 and an ID. So passport, even if they have the California ID, we can use that. Bank statements, because we want to show proof of funds. And that's pretty much it. If they're self-employed, tax returns. That's pretty much it.
Okay, good to know. It's pretty similar to people who are citizens and have
Correct.
their regular socials. So it's not that much different, guys. I think there's a big misconception in thinking that it's completely different, that if you have just an I-10 and you're not a citizen, that you cannot purchase. You can. There are little tweaks along the way, but it's pretty similar as the regular process. You just have to talk to someone to figure out what your situation is going to be like and what you will personally need. You can ask different things of different people that they may need.
Every application is so different, right? I can be doing two FHA loans and they're both completely different. And when I talk to clients the first time, I kind of hear their situation. I ask questions like, what do you do? What's your line of work? How long have you been doing that type of work or job? If they've been in school, if they're self-employed, if they have any type of visa, anything I should know that would help me structure their loan the best possible way, right? And when you asked me, what do they need? I don't know until I talk to the client because there's so many things that I can request from one family to the other, right? So if you have, let's say you have a client that is a DACA recipient, I have to request their ID work permit, bank statements if they're self-employed, 2 years self-employment history, the W-2s from 2021, 2022. I forget that we're in 2023. There's certain things for certain borrowers, right? So I always just call the client and I ask a bunch of questions. And then once I do that and I know their situation, then I send an email or even text with the list of items they're going to be needing or sending me for me to start the loan process and the loan application.
Yeah. And this is why we say talk to a lender.
Yes, yes.
We know that talking to a lender first is always the best step, because that way, as realtors, we'll know where you stand, what your buying power is, right, and what your situation is, and we could do our best to look out for you and your family.
One of the things that I want to emphasize is that even if you're not ready, but you want to just see where you're at, you can just come and apply and we can give you some options, and it's completely free. We don't have, matter of fact, it's illegal for us to collect any money up front from clients. You just have to send me your supporting documents. We have to obviously put credit, verify your income, and we'll give you some options. If we need to work on your credit, we need to work on, other things, we'll give you the guidance to do that. But it's completely free. You don't have to invest anything up front to be able to know whether you qualify for an FHA loan, a down payment assistance, or just even know the basics, right? Yeah. Even if you are trying to buy in the next, let's say, 6 months or even summer or winter or whatever, right? You can just apply and see, what the numbers are going to look like. And if you just want to wait a little bit because you want to save a little bit more money, that's totally fine.
Yeah.
We run to your pace. I always tell my clients, I'm not here to sell anything to you. I'm here to give you the information. I'm just the mediator between you and the bank. You're the boss. You tell me what to do, right? We don't favor any loans. Just give them the information, go over every single loan scenario that the borrower is eligible for. We compare every single scenario. So if they're eligible for Call Halfo, we'll go over those numbers, FHA, conventional, and then we can compare what's the best option for you, right? But I don't get to decide that. Yeah. I'll just give the client the information and they can get to decide what they want to do based on that.
It is good to just apply first, figure out your situation, create a plan, which she helps you do. That way you are on track for the next 6 months to get to a point where you're going to say, I'm ready to buy a house.
Yeah,
so
right.
Don't be scared. A lot of people, I think, get scared at the fact that, oh my God, they're pulling my credit. I don't want my credit pulled yet. But it's something that is beneficial. It's not as if you're going to Macy's and Target and applying for a credit card every day. It's something for a big purchase and something that is going to be beneficial for you in the long run to help you. Otherwise, she wouldn't be telling you to do it.
I can understand why people get so overwhelmed with the idea of just applying, because if you really think about it, oh my God, I'm going to be committed to this loan for 30 years, right? I think that so much information on social media and Google and everything gets even more overwhelming because you don't know what to believe, right? Who's the right lender? Who's the right realtor? Who's going to be negotiating what? What's the best program for me if I qualify? There's so many questions, right? But I feel the best way to calm your anxiety is just to do it, or ask questions and just educate yourself. And I always tell my clients, I'm here to give you the information and give you the education, what I know. I'm not here to sell anything. That's not my job. Even though we're on the sell side, look at it a little bit different because I experienced the mortgage crisis and people weren't educated about their decisions about when they apply for the loan. And a lot of back then you didn't even need a license to practice the mortgage business. And no, it was a mess. And I understand, especially older people that went through it, and even millennials that remember their parents going through it. I understand how they get so overwhelmed and they don't want to make those mistakes and they don't want to be in that situation and go through the same thing their parents did. So I totally get it, but at the same time, we're here to give you a service, not to push anything that you're not comfortable to do.
Shoot, things are way different now.
The fact that we're very regulated by the government, so it's very black and white. There's no in between. So it depends on the situation, right? But I always tell a client, help me help you, because we are a team. I'm not against you. I'm here to give you a service, and I'm here to help you achieve the ultimate American dream, which is becoming a homeowner.
Well, we care about you. We care about you. We want the best for you, and we're gonna be in your life most likely
Forever. For 30 years. For 30 years.